Hi Sew Fun friends, welcome to June's Sew Fun. I hope that your summers are off to a great start and that I can show you something today that will inspire you to get done when you're trying to beat those dog days of summer and need to do a little something on the inside where it's air conditioning. Let's jump right in. Because this is like prime travel season, the first project I want to tell you about is the Fold and Go Folio. And this is a really cool little project that can either be a jewelry case or a little sewing kit that folds up and travels and you can take it with you. It comes in two sizes and let me show you how that works. So this is the small size. And I fastened it with two little snaps. And on the inside of this is a little pocket that just is like a little drawstring with a ribbon, and then this piece of felt that you can hook your earrings into. So this is the small size, and like I said, it could be used as like a little travel sewing kit or for your jewelry. This is the larger size. And in the pattern, it shows you lots of different variations that you can make for this. So this one has two little drawstring pockets of different sizes. It has these loops that you can use to loop your necklaces through to travel so they don't get tangled up. And then a little felt section here to put your earrings through. And then it just folds together and snaps up, and it can slide right in your suitcase, nice and compact and keeping everything all together. These were a pretty quick project, super useful, and I think they'd also make a fun gift for someone that you know that likes to travel. All right, the next project I want to talk to you about is this Stand and Stow tote bag pattern, and this comes in three sizes. And now that we all have to carry reusable bags with us everywhere, it's nice to have something that will stand up and also fold flat. So this is the small size of this. So I want to show you how it folds flat. The way it's constructed, it has all these separate panels that have Peltex on the inside, and Peltex is a really stiff stabilizer. And so you sew in between them, so the way you construct it, it'll fold flat, just like this, or it will stand up so that you can put things in it. It has instructions for either doing webbing handles or handles that you make out of fabric. And I also think this would make a really cute gift bag. This is the small size, and this is the medium size. So the large size is very large, as you can imagine. And so again, even this big one stands up nice and tall so that you can put things in it, but it will also fold completely flat. And you can fold it over like that. And so it's really easy to stash in a pocket of your car, have it with you wherever you're going, whenever you need a bag for something that will stand up. Mallory was talking to me about how she's trying really hard to not use wrapping paper and gift bags and things like that are only one-use items. And so we're always looking for more ways that you can package a gift, and these would also make a great gift bag that then the bag itself is part of the gift. So these went together really quickly. I think they're a really great product, a good pattern. And again, that is the Stand and Stow tote bags. All right, while I'm standing right here, let me show you this cool little notion. This is called the Stitchy Stand. And what it is this little item that you can put on your table or like on the coffee table in front of you or on a chair or on a tray, and it will hold your pattern upright for you. So if you have a pattern open, it also has little pockets along the back and on the sides to keep your scissors, your knitting needles, your crochet hooks, whatever it is that you're working on, and hold everything up. It's extremely lightweight, and so it's not going to be an additional cumbersome thing, but it's just a really great way to hold everything that you need in a handy, convenient place where you can see it and see what you're doing when you're doing any kind of handwork or anything like that. I also think it would be great for regular sewing. You could put your pattern in here, open it up, hold your directions. You could have some of your tools right here. So a useful little item. This is called the Stitchy Stand, and I like how lightweight it is. And it comes in this cute little cheerful bag that I will put back in later. All right, let's talk about the round rosy table runner. So I fell in love with this pattern. I just loved the look of it. And it makes a table runner that is long and skinny like this, or it has another option to make one that is equally as long but twice as wide. And so this is the option I made because I have a very large dining room table and it's very wide. And so that suits my table a little bit better. And what I love about this pattern is it looks like paper piecing, but what it really is kind of like improvisational log cabin. And this is not quilted yet, but you'll see it quilted at So Fun. So this is how it turned out, and I'm really happy with it. And I did not buy any fabrics for this. I went through all of the scraps in my resource center and pulled out all the greens and the pinks of various kinds, and I organized them by light, medium, and dark, and then kind of built my roses. And so you start with one little piece, and then you just sew a strip onto that, trim it, sew a strip onto that, and just keep building it around and around, trimming as you go. So it looks like paper piecing, but it's not. It's just kind of like improvisational log cabining into a circle kind of shape. And the leaves are similar, and the instructions tell you how to do those, but I just think it's really cool looking, and I really like the aesthetic of it. It was fun to do, and you feel really virtuous when you're using up all those scraps of beautiful fabrics that you have saved, because you can use even really small pieces on some of this. And so it totally justifies saving all of those scraps when you can use them to make a really beautiful project. So I like that a lot. Let me show you a couple of other fun notion-y things that I have. Last time I did So Fun, Lynn gave this away as a prize. And I was so intrigued with it that I got one. And so I brought it for you for So Fun today. And this is a sewing machine Petal Mat. And what it does is I'll show you the picture on the back. You put your sewing machine pedal on this mat and it doesn't slide away from you, because I know I'm not the only one that is continually chasing my pedal as I'm sewing. It's moving further and further away, and then, every few minutes I have to pull it back to where I need it to be. So this is a great little notion that will keep your your pedal in place where it needs to go. This is another cool little notion. It's called a mat smoother, and it is by Tri Sharp, and it feels almost like a whetstone if you're that you use for knife sharpening, and you rub this across your cutting mat, and it removes and smooths out all those little like burrs that show up, and you know, especially on the lines where you cut over and over and over again, and sometimes your cutting mats get those little burrs on it. Smooths it all out. It kind of like polishes it up a little bit. It does not take off the printing. So if you're using it, it doesn't do that, but it will like pull out all those little threads that kind of get caught in the cutting lines sometimes, especially if you're cutting minky or batting or something like that that has all those little threads. So it feels, like I said, a little bit like a whetstone, and you just do this in a circular motion over the front of your mat, and it smooths everything out and really helps that. Let's see. The next thing I want to show you is this fun book. It's called Half Yard Winter Collection, and it is chock full of projects and gift ideas. There are so many things in here. It says 40 projects come in this book, and it's all different things for winter. And as you can see, there were many that I really liked. So let me show you some of the ones that I thought were wonderful. I'm a big fan of those long, skinny hearts that you could hang. I thought that this felt wreath pillow was really pretty. I liked that. I like this table runner that has the raw edge applique of the trees on it. I thought that was really fun. I'm a sucker for tote bags. Clearly, as you know, I love all the tote bags. And this one, the Sandringham tote, I think part of what was so appealing to me is that plaid. It's just such a classic look. I really, really love that. Going along with a classic look, I really liked this houndstooth backpack. I just think that that's a really sharp look. And it looks like maybe you're like in London, hopping on the tube, going somewhere fabulous. I also thought this was cute, these little bottle coolers. They have Insulbrite on the inside so that they will keep your beverage nice and cool. I really liked and made these cute gift bags. And they come in 2 sizes, and they have this really pretty scalloped edge. So this is the small one, and this is the large. And so it has a ribbon that you just tie around the top, and then the scalloped edge folds out like this so you can see the cute lining fabric that it's made of. And the large one is quite large. And I just think it's such a fun shape. And again, a great way to use up some of those really fun seasonal prints that we love and collect. I know we all do. And the other thing that I really liked out of here that I made, if I can find it, this isn't it. These cute cones, I love that. Where is it? Let's see. This is the problem when you have too many tabs of too many things that you like. You can't. Oh, these fabric baubles. I have a white Christmas tree, a flocked Christmas tree, and the last couple years have been experimenting with just putting like red ornaments on it. So I kind of have this white and red thing going. So I went through some of my red and white prints, and you make them with little squares of fabric that you sew together, and then just stitch the edges together so that they spread out like this. And I just thought those were so pretty. And I just thought I can picture these hanging on my white tree. Because I was going to hang these on my tree, I made them just a little bit smaller. So it calls for 5-inch squares, and I did mine with 4-inch squares. So mine are a little bit smaller because I thought it would fit better between the branches of my tree for me. So I didn't feel like making them a little bit smaller made it harder or anything like that. There was nothing hard about this, but I think that they're really cute, and I think they're going to look really pretty hanging on my tree. So as you can see, there's tons of great projects in this book, and I like a book that has lots of things that you can do with it. All right. Another fun thing that we have for you this month is this printed panel from Riley Blake that has, I've cut something out of it, so it's a little hard to see, but has all these cute pre-printed panels to make really useful zippy bags. And printed on the panel is the instructions for how to make them. And it also includes these printed tags. So let me show you how cute these make up. There's 2 sizes on the printed panel, large and small, and this is the large bag. And so it tells you exactly how to sew it. This is an unlined zippy bag. So the seams on the inside are zigzagged to kind of control the fraying. And we have this cute package of zippers for you guys. Oh, here they are. That are double slide zippers, and they come in all these cute colors that coordinate with the printed panel on the bags. So I used this bottom one right here to go with this one. And on the panel, it tells you what color of zipper to use. It tells you how to cut the little tag and sew it into the side. And the panel that we have are all like sewing motif things. So this one has like quilt squares on it, and this says like handmade and button and stitch and sew and measure, all these little sewing words to make up these cute pouches. The panel includes directions to make 7 different pouches, and so the package has 7 zippers, and they make up really quick. They're great for organizing your stuff and make great little gifts. It's like a great little gift bag to put things in for somebody else. But this is really fun, this little panel. It's almost like instant gratification sewing. You can make this in about a half an hour if you're going slow. So those are fun. All right, let me tell you about the Poolside Tote by Noodlehead. You know we love Noodlehead patterns. We have made many of them. And this one I really like. It is big. As you can see, it is huge. In the write-up for her pattern, it says that she can fit 4 beach towels and all the other things like sunscreen and sunglasses and things like that she needs to take to the beach or the pool or wherever she's going in the summer. I also thought this would be a great like road trip corral bag to keep all your stuff in. Is just such a nice size. It has these folded over handles, so it's easy to carry. The top is open, so everything is easily accessible. And this cutout makes it so that you can carry it on your shoulder and it's not going to be right up underneath your arm. And so I like that design feature. Also, I made one change. It has a zipper pocket on the outside that could also be a slip pocket. And since I was doing that, I put the zipper pocket on both sides. So I have the zipper pocket on both sides. That's one change I made in the pattern. It was really easy to just do that. And I had this by Annie zipper by the yard in the perfect coral color to coordinate with my canvas. She gives you in the pattern several different interfacing options, and I chose to put soft and stable in it so that it would stand up on its own. But when I was making it and I was looking at other versions that other people have made, lots of people just did Stay Flex SF101, and it's a much softer bag, so it would like fold up and you could, make it more stashable. You could like easily fold it up and stash it in your car somewhere or something like that. But it's a nice, really big tote that has a fun shape to it, and I think it's going to be great for summer. And it turned out really, really fun to do. So you might really appreciate this Poolside Tote by Noodlehead. Okay, let's talk about this book, the Precut Primer. This is a tried and true. Tracy did this book years ago, even before we were doing So Fun videos. Before I ever started doing So Fun, she did this book. And it has all kinds of patterns that use all different kinds of pre-cuts. So, and because it's called a primer, it starts with first grade. So first grade is this table runner, and it uses mini charms. And so it gives you a couple patterns for mini charms. And then it goes up to using charm packs. So the fourth grade quilt is this little table quilt, and it uses a charm pack. Now, I have a couple of really beautiful fabric pre-cut options for you for So Fun, and one is a layer cake that I used for two things here. So here is that fourth grade quilt, and instead of using charms, I used the layer cake, because if a charm is a 5-inch square and a layer cake is a 10-inch square, you can get 4 charms out of one 10-inch square. And so that's what I used for this, is I just went through my layer cake and picked the ones I wanted to do specifically in this quilt. And it's designed to be a table topper, but one of my granddaughters is going to get this as a doll blanket because they love small things like this for their dolls, and their, even more than their dolls, their stuffies, their friends, their stuffy friends. They love to have blankets and things for them. So that is this one right here, this fourth grade. They have patterns for jelly rolls that are really nice. I like the look of that quilt. And then they go up to 8th grade quilt, and this one uses a layer cake, and that is this quilt right here, is this pattern. So this is obviously, just like any primer, as your skills improve, they improve in the patterns increase in complexity. And so this quilt obviously is not something you're going to make in a couple of days, but I think that it turned out really nice using that layer cake of really, really beautiful fabrics that I have for you guys this time. Another one I really like, this is the 9th grade quilt, and it uses fat 8ths. So it continues to go up in complexity. There's a couple of notions that were really, really useful in making these two quilts out of this book. And one is, this is called diagonal seam tape. And this is also a tried and true item. And what it is it's tape that has the red line in the middle and then a black line to each side of the red line that is exactly 1/4 of an inch off. So what you do is you peel off a piece of this tape, and you stick it down to the bed of your sewing machine with the red line lined up exactly where your needle goes. And so it's going to start with your needle, and then you just put it down on the bed of your sewing machine and you leave it there. And so what this does is it means that you don't have to take the time to draw diagonal lines across all of your little squares when you're making tons and tons of half square triangles. Because and as you can see, this quilt has a ton of half square triangles. So you can see, like for instance, you start with your squares, your two squares, and it wants you to draw a diagonal line and sew 1/4 inch to either side of that diagonal line. So all you do is you take your square and put the point where your needle goes, or 1/4 inch off, put the point 1/4 inch off from the center, and then you can just sew right down there, and it means that you don't have to draw those diagonal lines. This is another tried and true product. When she first invented this, I showed this for Sew Fun several years ago. It like lives, I never take it off my sewing machine base. I use it all the time. It is such a time saver. So that was something that really, really helped me in making this. Another cool new product that I used a lot is this new circular cutting mat. And we have featured a number of circular cutting mats at Sew Fun in the past, but they keep inventing new ones that have different features than the ones before. So let me show you what's great about this one. Well, first off, it's pink. This one, it has this grippy non-slip base, but what this one does is it slides on ball bearings. So when you are trimming up a bajillion half square triangles, you can line them right up on here and just turn it. So you aren't constantly turning. After you place your pieces down where you want them to be on the lines, you don't have to keep turning them to square things up or to trim up the half square triangles. You can just turn your mat. So this one is super cool, and the ball bearings make it so easy to turn, as you can tell. I have really enjoyed using this. I like it. All right, I also have this really fun pattern. It's called the Luna Quilt, and it's made using a jelly roll. And I found a really fun jelly roll for you guys. It's a new Halloween jelly roll from Moda, and it's called Halloween because it has lots of little owls in it. And the fabrics in it are a little bit different than traditional Halloween colors. They're a little bit more muted. The greens and oranges and are just a little bit more muted. So this came together pretty quickly, and I really like the look of it. I found this great sort of muted orange at the Littleton store that blended perfectly with this jelly roll because I wanted something that read as a solid but had just a little bit of a print in it. So this jelly roll is really cute, and I have quite a bit of it left over even after making this quilt. This came together, as I said, fairly quickly. I did back it in Minky because why wouldn't you? And I just like the look of it a lot. So I think that you will like this pattern. It comes together pretty quick. All right, I have a couple of more notions to show you and tell you about. First is this, it's called the Omni Rack, made by Omnigrid. And what it is for, it's like flexible, as you can see. And what it is for is to hold all of your rulers. So even though it's low and flexible, because it has this like grid, open grid on it, it can hold lots and lots of rulers and lots of configurations of rulers. I know that ruler management really does become a thing for those of us that sew a lot, and as we collect more and more specialty rulers for different projects that we're doing. And so it's nice to have a good product to wrangle all those rulers. It is surprisingly heavy, so even though it's super flexible, it has some weight to it. So when it's down on your desk, one, it's kind of like grippy, so it doesn't slide around, and because it's a little bit weighted, it really does hold those rulers. Even big rulers will just stand right up in there and not fall out or anything like that. So this is a great product. I also found this really cool, this is called the Bird's Nest toolkit, and it comes in a great little zippered case, which is good, and I'll show you why. It has these two fabulous tools in it, because no matter how good you are with your embroidery machine, occasionally you get those giant bird's nests underneath your hoop that are really, really hard to access. They like crunch all down and make it so you can't hardly lift your hoop up out of your machine. They're hard to get to. And so these two tools are a game changer. This has like a non-slip handle on it, but it's this big hook, and it's very long and skinny, so you can get it underneath there. And the other one, also very long and skinny, is this blade. It looks like a scalpel, and it's super sharp. So it comes with a blade cover, which is really good. But even so, I'm glad that it comes in this little carrying case, because you do not want this like rolling around in your drawer where you might stick your hand in there and get it. But because it has such a long handle, you can get under there with your hook and your blade and cut through all those threads, so you can remove your hoop and then get your little tweezers out and get everything out from underneath the bobbin case where all of that bird's nest business is happening. But these are great, great little tools. It's a great little kit. And like I said, you want to make sure that you keep it covered up and stick it back in its little case so that you always know where it is, and it keeps it safe from your fingers, ready to use when you need it. So I thought this was a great little toolkit. And then my last notion that I want to show you, and this is another tried and true, and this might be, gosh, if my Biani stiletto is probably my favorite like sewing tool that I use at my sewing machine, this is a game changer for me. This is the Martelli rotary cutter. And as you guys know, and if you have come to Sew Fun, you all know I have bad hands, really, really weak sauce hands for lots of reasons. And this rotary cutter, I can cut a bajillion pieces for a quilt, and my hand does not hurt using this cutter. So what is so great about it is it has this handle on it like this. So you can hold it in your hand like this. Your finger, it's like curved right here. Your finger goes across, and there's a place right here for your thumb. It's the thumb joint, the grippy part, that's really hard for me. This is not hard for me. And because this rests against the heel of your hand like this, when you're cutting, you're using not your hand strength to cut through the fabric. You're just going along, and you have your body weight behind it. So you're not exerting pressure through your hand. It's going down through your arm from your body weight and just pushing against that to roll. As it rolls, the cover, I don't want to cut the tablecloth. When you start to roll it, the protective cover flips back to expose the blade. And when you're done, you just flip the protective cover over it like that. This is one of my top tried and true things. I literally cannot even imagine how little sewing I would get done if I did not have this, because it just really, really helps with all different kinds of hand strain and arm strain, because I'm not relying on the strength of my hands to do all the cutting, which is good because my hands don't have very much strength. So this is my great tried and true for you this month. It does come in a lefty version if you are left-handed. So I am not sure how many lefty ones we're going to have at actual Sew Fun, but they can order you one if they're all gone. We'll get more right-handed ones, we'll get a few left-handed ones, but you can order it. It's just great. Total game changer. That's what I have to show you so far. I hope that this inspires you to come into the store and see more of the projects and do some fun sewing for the summer. Have a great day. Bye, friends.
Hey guys, here at Rocky Mountain Sewing and Vacuum, we always like to make sewing fun start here. And so we appreciate you watching this video. If you want to see more like it, check out this playlist. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you know what is happening here. So we'll see you guys next time.